Hello everyone. Welcome to the channel. In today's video we will talk about Angola. Angola, officially the Republic of Angola, is a country on the west coast of Africa, whose main territory is limited to the north and northeast by the Democratic Republic of the Congo, to the east by Zambia, to the south by Namibia and to the west by the Atlantic Ocean. It also includes the exclave of Cabinda, through which it borders the Republic of the Congo, to the north. In addition to the neighbors already mentioned, Angola is the closest country to the British colony of Saint Helena. Official language Portuguese language national language Kikongo, Chaku, Umbundu, Quimbundu, Yanguela and Kwanama have the status of national languages. Government The Angolan Republic is presidentialist of a unitary dominant party. President João Manuel Goncalves Lourenço. Vice President Esperança da Costa. Independence became independent from Portugal on the 11th of November 1975. Has a total area 1,246,700 square kilometers, 23rd. Has a border with its neighboring countries such as the Republic of the Congo, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Zambia and Namibia. With an estimated population of 32.87 million, and a population density of 20.6 inhabitants per square kilometer. Independence of Portuguese rule was achieved in 1975, after a war of independence. Brazil was the first country to recognize the country's independence, still in 1975. After independence, Angola was the scene of a long and devastating civil war, from 1975 to 2002, especially between the MPLA and UNITA. Despite the internal conflict, areas such as Kassange's downtown kept their regional monarchical systems active. In 2000, a peace agreement was signed with the Front for the Liberation of the Enclave of Cabinda, a guerrilla organization that fights for the secession of Cabinda and is still active. It is from the region of Cabinda that approximately 65% of Angola's oil comes out. The country has vast natural resources, such as large reserves of minerals and oil and, since 1990, its economy has shown growth rates that are among the highest in the world, especially after the end of the Civil War. Soon after the death of its historic leader, UNITA abandoned the weapons and its armed arm. The Angolan Liberation Forces FALA was demobilized or integrated into the Angolan Armed Forces. Like the FNLA, it started to focus on participation, as a party, in parliament and other political bodies. In the peace situation, after 4 decades of armed conflict, the reconstruction of the country began and, thanks to a remarkable growth in the economy, a globally marked development, but for now with strong regional disparities and social inequalities. Peace is also favoring the consolidation of a comprehensive, national, social identity, which began to gradually form from the 1950s, 1992, 2008 and 2012, guaranteeing the permanence of the President of the state, between 1979 and 2017, of José Eduardo dos Santos. While the FNLA practically disappeared from the scene, UNITA consolidated, in the 2012 elections, its position as the main opposition party. At the economic level, Angola has, on the one hand, registered strong growth, facing, on the other hand, difficulties that forced it to request the support of the International Monetary Fund (IMF), failing to stop the emergence of very accentuated economic and social inequalities. However, Angolan living standards remain low and about 70% of the population lives on less than $2 a day, while life expectancy and infant mortality rates in the country remain among the worst in the world, in addition to the prominent presence of economic inequality, since most of the country's wealth is concentrated in a disproportionately small part of the population. Angola is also considered one of the least developed countries on the planet according to the United Nations (UN), and one of the most corrupt in the world by Transparency International. Angola is located on the South Atlantic coast of West Africa, between Namibia and the Republic of the Congo. It also borders the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Zambia the east. The country is divided between an arid coastal strip, which extends from Namibia, reaching practically to Luanda, a wet interior plateau, a dry savanna in the south and southeast, and tropical forest in the north and in Cabinda. The Zambezi River and several tributaries of the Congo River have their springs in Angola. The coastal strip is tempered by the cold Benguela stream, giving rise to a climate similar to the coast of Peru or Baja California. There is a short rainy season, which runs from February to April. Summers are hot and dry, winters are seasoned. The inland highlands have a mild climate with a rainy season from November to April, followed by a cooler dry season from May to October. The altitudes vary greatly, with the innermost areas between 1,000 and 2,000 meters. The northern and Cabinda regions have rains throughout almost the entire year. Most of the rivers of Angola are born on the Ba Plateau. The main ones are Kwanza, Kwango, Kwando, Cubango and Cunnan. Climate Angola. For the Köppen-Geiger Angola climate classification, despite being located in a tropical area, it has a climate that is not characterized for this region, due to the confluence of three factors: the cold Benguela current along the southern part of the coast, the relief inside, and the influence of the Namib Desert, to the southwest. As a result, the climate of Angola is characterized by two seasons: the rains, from October to April, and the drought, known as Kasimbo, from May to August, drier, as the name indicates, and with lower temperatures. On the other hand, while the coastline has high rainfall rates, which decrease from north to south and from 800 mm to 50 mm, with annual average temperatures above 23 degrees Celsius, the interior zone can be divided into three areas: north, with great rainfall and high temperatures; central plateau, with a dry season and average temperatures of the order of 19 degrees Celsius, and south with very strong thermal amplitudes due to the proximity of the Kalahari Desert and the influence of tropical air masses. A political regime in force in Angola is presidentialism, in which the President of the Republic is also head of the government, which still has legislative powers. The executive branch of the government is composed of President João Lourenço, Vice President Esperança da Costa and the Council of Ministers. The governors of the 21 provinces are appointed by the President and execute their directives. The constitutional law of 1992 established the general lines of the structure of the government and frames the rights and duties of citizens. The legal system is based on Portuguese and customary law, but it is weak and fragmented. There are courts only in 12 of the more than 140 municipalities in the country. Among the aspects that deserve special attention are those resulting from policies called decentralization and deconcentration, adopted in recent years, and that refer to the need to analyze political reality at the regional level, all provincial and local. On the other hand, it to make one feel of a certain international weight of Angola, particularly at the regional level, due to its economic strength and its military power. What these mechanisms mean in practice can only be understood against the backdrop of the crushing weight, in terms of electoral results and the detention and exercise of power, of the party that imposed itself in the process of decolonization and in the civil war that followed it, the MPLA. In fact, the regime described above lies in the category of dominant party system that does everything to perpetuate itself. In 2014, Angola rose 2 places in the world ranking of electronic government, according to the report of the E-Government Development Index published by the UN, which analyzes the use of information and communication technology by governments in the dissemination of information and public services on the Internet. The average in the E-Government Development Index in Africa is 0.27. Angola is above the African average with a development rate of 0.3. With a stock of assets corresponding to 70,000 million United States dollars, 6.8 billion KZ, Angola is today the third largest financial market in sub-Saharan Africa, surpassed only by Nigeria and South Africa. According to the Angolan Minister of Economy, Abraham Gorgel, the country's financial market grew modestly from 2002 onwards and is now ranked third in sub-Saharan Africa. In 2013, Angola was the African country that made the most investments abroad, especially in Portugal, revealed a report by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. The fact that Angola has assumed itself as a foreign direct investment issuer is particularly surprising, taking into account the large volume of investments that the country has received in recent years, mainly in terms of oil and natural gas exploration, as well as road and rail infrastructures. Angolan culture is, on the one hand, tributary to the ethnic groups that were constituted in the country for centuries, especially the Vimbundos, Ambundos, Congos, Chacus and Ovambo. On the other hand, Portugal was present in the Luanda region and later also in Benguela from the 16th century onwards, occupying the territory corresponding to today's Angola during the 19th century and maintaining control of the region until 1975. This presence resulted in strong cultural influences, starting with the introduction of the language. Portuguese and Christianity. This influence is particularly noticeable in the cities where more than half of the population lives today. In the slow process of formation, a comprehensive and cohesive society in Angola, which continues to this day, is recorded for all this very different cultural ingredients, in constellations that vary from region to region. Dance in the country. Dance distinguishes different genres, meanings, forms and contexts, balancing the recreational aspect with its condition as a vehicle of religious, healing, ritual and even social intervention. Not restricted to the traditional and popular scope, it manifests itself equally through academic and contemporary languages. The constant presence of dance in everyday life is the product of an appealing cultural context for the interiorization of rhythmic structures from an early age. Starting with the close contact of the child with the mother's movements, at the back of which it is transported, this connection is strengthened through the participation of young people in different social celebrations. Young people are the ones who are most involved, where dance proves to be decisive as a factor of integration and preservation of identity and the community feeling. After several centuries of Portuguese colonization, Angola also ended up suffering mixtures with other cultures currently present in Brazil, Mozambique and Cape Verde. With this, Angola today stands out for its most diverse musical styles, having as main, Semba, Kuduro, Kizomba and Rebida. In 2014, the Casa da Música de Talatona was inaugurated in the province of Luanda, a space for the promotion and dissemination of Angolan music, privileging SEMBA as a way of contributing to its preservation, dissemination and perpetuation. Feasts. Some of the typical festivals of Angola are sea festivals. These traditional festivals designated by sea parties take place in the city of Namibia. These festivities come from an ancient tradition with a cultural, recreational and sporting character. They usually take place in the summer season and it is customary to have exhibitions of products related to agriculture, fisheries, civil construction, oils and livestock farming. Carnival. The main parade takes place on the Avenue of Marginal de Luanda. Several carnival corsos, allegorical corsos paraded on one of the main avenues of Luanda and Benguela. Fruit festivals. Held between summer and early autumn, they symbolize the joy of a full crop at harvest time. The focus of the party changes according to the region, e.g., Festa da Uva ao Noroeste, Festa, from the purple Manjuba to the south. Feasts of Our Lady of Muxama. The Muxama Sanctuary is located in the municipality of Quisama, Bengo Province, and throughout the year it receives thousands of faithful. It is a very popular party that takes place every year and that inevitably attracts countless tourists, due to its religious characteristics. In 2014, Angola resumed holding the National Festival of Culture Fenacult, after 25 years of interregnum. The festival took place in all provincial capitals in the country between August 30th and September 20th and had as its theme, Culture as a Factor of Peace and Development. If you are interested in this topic, leave your comment, share the video and subscribe to the channel to follow more content that stimulates reflection and debate on topics crucial for our society. Thank you for your attention and until the next video.